Then exhale out. And another breath in. And exhale out. Release your hands to the floor. Separate your knees and drift your feet to the long edges of our mat. Have your strap handy. We're going to use it in a moment. So that the heels are at the outer edges of the mat. The arms go out to the letter T or the letter W. And we're just going to windshield wiper those knees to the right slowly. And turn your head to the left and pause as your left knee presses down towards the floor. Kind of breathing into the front of that left hip. And then we'll bring those knees up towards the ceiling and then both knees over to the left. Your head turns to the right. Take a breath into the hip crease or the top of that right thigh bone. And then let's just work with the breath. So inhale the knees to center. Exhale the knees to the right. Head turns left. Inhale everything to center. Exhale, knees to the left, head turns right. Can you do 2 more of those on your own? Just moving your head and neck in opposition to your knees as they rock through this 180-degree arc. And then bring the knees and the head to center and just rest the feet. Take your strap. Put it underneath the bottom of your right foot because we're having like a really big snowstorm in Chicago today. I decided to emphasize some really deep stretching. Sometimes transitional weather can be a little tricky on our joints, muscles, and connective tissue. So I'd like you to straighten your right knee, press your right heel up towards the ceiling. My left knee is still bent with my left foot on the floor. And I'm going to take my hands around the strap and just pulse my foot like I'm kicking a football over my head. Or a soccer ball, if you're a place kicker. And then very gently, I'm going to guide those toes to the space over my face, push the heel away, and stretch the left leg straight out on the mat. So I have 2 straight knees, 2 straight legs, and both heels are pressing away from me. Draw the belly button down, relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath in, exhale out, and another breath in. Exhale out. Transfer both straps to your right hand, please. Stretch your left arm out at a 90-degree angle to the long left side of your mat. Turn the palm down. Then slowly start to lower your right leg and foot to the right. There was a wall there, you just be scraping down. But you come to the place where either your right leg stops or your left hip starts to lift off the mat. I want you to pause. Slide your hand away from your foot on the strap, just a little bit, maybe 6 inches, and plunk your right elbow down on the floor. So you've created a kickstand with your right arm. And I think you're going to probably find that that right leg lowers a little bit more as you turn your head towards your left hand and take a deep breath in and exhale out. And again, inhale and exhale. Turn your head to the ceiling. Draw the leg overhead. Keep the left leg grounded on the mat and transfer both sides of the strap into your left hand. Right foot is overhead right now. Right arm stretches out at a 90-degree angle to the mat, palm down. And then this is just a little crossover with the right foot across. Maybe pointing that right heel towards the top of the wall over your left shoulder. There's a tiny bit of air underneath your right glute, but you're not rolling onto your left side body. This is not a side twist. This is a stretch of your outer right leg from your outer hip, down your entire outer thigh, down below your knee, even to your ankle. So breathe in and out a couple times. And then gently let that leg sink back to the center point. Your nose is pointing to the ceiling. Take 1/2 of the strap in each hand. Maybe wrap the strap around the knuckle part of your hand so you don't have to cling with your fingers. Decide if you'd like to lift your shoulders and your head a few inches off the floor as you really push out through both heels. And take a breath in and exhale out. And one more breath in. And as you exhale, lower your head and shoulders to the mat. Bend the left knee again, sliding the left heel up towards the left hip. Bend the right knee and take the strap off of your right foot. Go ahead and place the strap to your left side. Cross the right ankle above the left knee. Take your right hand, please, Put it on your inner right thigh and just gently pulse your right inner thigh away from your right shoulder. So there's a word for this in yoga. We just call it winging your leg, winging it like a chicken wing. And then press it away and firmly hold it away and decide if that's like a super strong sensation for you. This would be a good place to stay. If you feel like you'd like to explore your right hip a little bit more, float your left foot up off the mat and either curl your 10 fingers or your 8 fingers around your right shin bone down towards the ankle, or reach and grab your left hamstring or left knee. That's just each of those second options is going to give you a little bit more resistance. And we'll just stay here for 3 or 4 breaths, breathing into whatever we're feeling in the outer right hip. Just hearing the sound of your own breath. One more breath in, exhale out, and then uncross that right ankle. So we're going to put one hand on each knee and just squeeze the knees in towards our rib cage. Maybe pulse, alternately marching your knees towards your shoulders. Give both knees a squeeze in and maybe circle your knees. I brought my knees a little closer together and I'm just drawing some knee circles towards the ceiling. Feels really good on the back of my sacrum. And I'm going to go both directions. Feels really good because I have a double mat here. It's nice and soft. Good. Pause in the center. Place your right foot on the mat with your right knee bent. Grab that strap. Move it underneath the arch of the left foot and extend the left leg straight up overhead. Straightening your left knee as much as is personally, humanly possible for your body. All right. For some of you who have really tight hamstrings, you might find that if you let your foot drop away from you a little bit, it's like you're pointing your heel towards the wall across from you. You might be able to straighten your leg a little bit more if your foot is further away from your shoulders. And then you can play with drawing those toes overhead. Otherwise, just find the sensation on the back of the left thigh. Gonna pretend kick those toes overhead a few times. And then the next time you kick those toes up and over your head, you're just gonna hold it there for a couple of breaths, drawing the belly button down. Inhale, exhale, inhale. As you exhale, straighten the right leg out onto the mat, pushing the right heel away. Continue to push the left heel up towards the ceiling. Both sides of the strap into the left hand. Right arm stretches out towards the right wall. Pull down. Let's start to lower that left leg. And then arc down, 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 down until it stops moving before your right hip pops up off the mat. Then let the left hand slide a little closer to your left shoulder, maybe 6 inches on the strap, and plunk your left elbow down onto the floor. Everybody's arms are different, so you might have to slide your hand a little bit more up towards your shoulder. Turn your head towards your right hand and just let gravity open out that left inner thigh, left outer hip. One last inhale, exhale. And then we'll gently raise that left leg overhead and change hands on the strap. Left arm goes to the floor, palm down. Push again out through both heels and start to draw that left leg, left foot across the plane of your body towards the top of the wall over your right shoulder. A little air only under that left hip. It's not a twist. And as you push out firmly through both heels, just notice what's happening on the outer seam edge of that left leg. All the way from your ankle to your outer knee to your outer hip. Just keep pushing away on those heels. Last exhale. Raise the legs straight up overhead. Take one half of the strap in each hand. Maybe wrap the strap around the knuckle portion of your hands. Decide if you'd just like to firm your foot down towards the floor or lift your shoulders up. Shoulders, sternum, nose towards your knee and your ankle. Just hold for a breath or two. Lower down. Bend your right knee, slide the right heel up closer to the right hip. Start to bend the left knee and take the strap off, please, and put it over onto the floor. Cross the left ankle above the right knee. Number 4 cross, or what we call reclined pigeon. Left hand goes into inner left thigh with that winging. I just took my right hand and I put it on my right heel. just to feel that binding of both hands to the lower body. Press away firmly and hold with the left hand pushing the left inner thigh away. Decide if that's, oh, that's good, I'll stay there, or float your right foot up. Decide if you just like to curl your fingers around your left shin bone or find your right hamstring or right knee. Here we'll just take a couple breaths, maybe 3 or 4 breaths. Firming the belly button downward, softening the shoulder blades under our upper back, softening our face, our mouth, our jaw. That left ankle. Hug both knees in towards your shoulders, and then slide your hands to your inner ankles or the tops of your ankles. Kick those heels out into heavy baby. So we're going to find some part of our feet, ankles, or shins to curl our fingers around. Just going to take a few breaths here in symmetry. If you'd like to rock left, right, left, right. It's a really interesting low back massage. And then we're going to be seated. So some of you may want to just hug your knees in and rock up to seated. Others maybe want to come onto one side of the body and push up to seated. Either way, we're going to find ourselves. Oh, all right. So I'm going to fold up my blanket and put it under my hips. Again, it's the softening that I'm looking for, so I get more release in my hip. And then let's just go ahead and windshield wiper those knees now that we're up here. If you want to get a little fancy, you can turn your head away from your knees. So notice we have a little serpentine twist going on here. You don't have to do that. You can just let your head move with your knees, or you can let your head go opposite your knees. Play around. Remember, it's play. It's play practice. And then come to center, and then let's find a comfortable place to rest our legs. So if that means you've elevated your hips and you put your legs out in front of you, that's fine with me. If you can cross leg into Sukhasana, that's great too. Let's lift and lower the shoulders a few times. As you do that, feel the firming of your hips downward into the hardness of your mat or the softness of your blanket. And then how about some forward shoulder rolls? And for this, I'll take my hands out to the side so I get a little bit more lift and movement. Find your breath here. Inhale deeply and slowly, and then do the same on the exhale. Now let's go the opposite way. So lifting up, pressing back, dropping down, moving forward. This is the king of the shoulder rolls. Or queen, if you're she who must be obeyed. We were talking about that before class. Those shoulders are going to go back and down, and they're just going to stay there. Firming all 10 fingers into the mat. Press down through your ankles, your sitting bones, and lift an imaginary dictionary up towards the ceiling here. So this takes several breaths for a spine to respond to this. You know, it's really a good thing that our connective tissue, ligaments, tendons, fascia around our spine is so movement resistant, because our spinal column is very important and it needs to be protected from sudden movements, sudden actions that could damage it, as I think we're all aware of. So we just have to be patient as we inhale and exhale and continue to press upward through the tip top crown of our head. Relax the tops of the shoulders down towards the fingertips. And if it's possible, really weight down into your tailbone, sitting bones, and hips. Belly button is just gently firming back. It's not doing anything crazy. And then we're just going to raise both arms overhead to start. So turn the palms upward, come halfway up, shoulder high, pause, squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you and drop them down. Then let's bring the hands overhead. Maybe just touch the fingers together. Good. And then turn the palms apart and let the hands float back down to the surface of the floor. Take a breath in and exhale out. And then just the right hand, we're going to bring it shoulder high right in front of us. And then notice how your right shoulder blade is probably reached forward like you're going to shake someone's hand. I want you to pull it back so it's even with your left shoulder. That makes sense? Yeah. So there's forward and there's back, and we're going to have it back. And then we're going to continue to raise the arm over. Can you keep the shoulder blade down and back? Bend the right elbow and let your right hand come behind your head, neck, or between your shoulder blades, wherever's the lowest place it can go. Okay. And float your left hand up. You're going to find some place along your right arm to hold your left hand to your right arm. So I'm aiming for my elbow. That's a big reach, right? I'm going to try to sit up a little straighter. I'm going to try to use my left fingers like a giant suction cup to lift my elbow up towards the ceiling. Really get a great stretch in that back shoulder, side shoulder area here. Get a little taller. If you'd like to use your head to press back into your right arm, right hand, go ahead. Just feel that resistance. And then again, firming the belly button back, we're going to tilt to your left. So opening up those right side ribs, trying to keep the right hip grounded, and using your touch of your left hand to your right elbow to draw it up off of your right shoulder. So finding length, finding space, breathing into whatever you're sensing. Getting ready for some snow shoveling, right? No. And then back, we come to center. We're going to release the left hand down and bring the right arm out shoulder high and fold it across towards our left shoulder. And here's where you get to give yourself a little one-arm hug. Some of you know eagle arms, and if you'd like to do that, you're welcome to. I'm just going to be a little bit more conservative today. And can you press that right shoulder blade back like we did earlier in this sequence? So don't let it round forward. Press it back and tilt your head to the left, opening up the right side of your neck. Take 1 or 2 breaths right here. And bring your head upright. Release that right arm and around your back waistband. Take your left hand and see if you can make friends with your right fingers here. If you can just touch, that's okay. Or if you can interlace and fold your palms together, press the tops of both shoulders down towards the floor. And then that left elbow that's kind of pointing out the window or to the wall, can you squeeze it towards the space behind your spine? Press your shoulders down, sit up tall. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, release your hand and circle your wrists. We're going to do the other side, but there's going to be a little interlude here. Take your hands and press your palms forward, chin down, round your spine towards the back space behind you. Keep pulling your belly button back. So much that you think if you pull it back any further, you're going to roll onto your back. Spine is making the letter C. On the next inhale, sit up straight, soften your elbows, and press your hands up and press your heart forward. Then inhale, bound hands in front of heart. Exhale, this kind of seated cat pose. Inhale, hands in front of heart. Exhale, this wonderful heart opener cobra. One more time. Inhale, hands in front of heart. Exhale, seated cat. Inhale, hands in front of heart. Exhale, heart opener. Release your hands down to the floor. Rock from side to side. Kind of erasing the blackboard. We're going to do the left shoulder, left arm now. We're going to have a fresh start. Shoulders back and down. Just the left hand is going to float up shoulder high, and then we're going to pull the shoulder blade back. It's like you're pulling it into a little holster there. Keep the shoulder blade in its holster and raise your left arm overhead. This left shoulder staying down. Bend the left elbow, give yourself a pat behind the head, neck, or back. Sweep the right hand up, find some place on your lower left arm, maybe even your elbow to lift up. It's like you're stretching your whole left armpit bigger, wider. Press back with your head into whatever your formation your left arm is giving you. Yeah, first lift that elbow up. And when you're ready, tilt to the right. Continue to encourage that left elbow diagonally up and away from the floor, in the direction the crown of your head is pointing. Inhale. Exhale, drop the left hip down. Inhale. Exhale. Sit up straight. Release the right hand down and bring your left elbow out to the side and fold it across your chest. Take that right arm and really hug your left elbow in. And then commit to dropping the left shoulder down more towards the floor. Perfect. Drop your right ear out over your right shoulder and take a couple of breaths. If your posture got sloppy, straighten it up. Draw the belly button in. Lift the rib cage off the hips. Don't get lazy. On an inhale, we'll lift the head up. We'll release the right hand to the right knee and we'll sweep that left arm around behind our back waistband. And here's where you're looking with your right hand to touch your left fingers, interlace or just touch fingers, and fold the right elbow in towards the space behind your spine. Sit up straight and tall. Drop the shoulders, pull the heart back, pull the belly button back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. One last time, squeeze that right elbow in. And exhale out. Perfect. Come back to center. Let's go ahead and kick those heels out. This should feel really good. If you'd like to windshield wiper, then you can. Otherwise, we'll just move right into something I don't think I've ever done here, which is what we call this dragonfly legs. Dragonfly legs. They look like dragonfly wings, basically. So my knees are bent. There's space under my thighs. If this is super uncomfortable for you personally, and I'll take blocks under your thighs. It supports the weight of your knees. So you don't feel so like you're struggling. If you don't need it, that's fine. I'm going to take a block out in front of me. So I'm going to raise the floor a little bit. And then I'm just going to walk my hands forward. So my rib cage starts to come between my spread knees here. So either raise the floor, you don't have to, but again, the more severe you make a pose at the beginning, the more your body resists. So the more you're kind and compassionate to yourself by giving yourself a gentle introduction to a pose, the more your body's going to give back to you. Makes sense, right? It's like being nice to kids when you want them to do something. You're like, yeah, okay. We're just folding forward here a little bit. And just notice where you're feeling this. Are you feeling it in your low back? Are you feeling it in your inner thighs? Are you feeling it around your tailbone? Are you feeling it higher up on your spine? Are you feeling it in your hamstrings? There's no right or wrong answer here. It's just what you're feeling. And all you're doing is registering the sensation and reading back to it. So the inhale is, oh, thank you for that information. The exhale is, here you go. And then inhale, thank you for that information. And exhale, here we go. One more breath, inhale. So either using blocks or not, we're going to move our right hand inside our right ankle, right here. Left hand to left waist band. So my left elbow is pointing out to the left wall. But start to rotate my upper body to face the left side of the room. Oh, we're getting some snowflakes. Here we go. And then once my shoulders blades have rotated as much to the left as they can, I have an option to take my left hand off my waist, reach it up to the ceiling, really ground down into your left hip, please. And then make like this rainbow shape up and over my right leg, as if I were going to touch my left fingers to my left toes. Just take a couple breaths here. Inhale, exhale, inhale. As you exhale, bring that left hand down next to the right. Turn so that your heart is facing the floor. Start to walk your hands center, hand or blocks, and then to the inside your left ankle where you'll plant your left hand inside your left leg. Right hand to right waistband. Begin that upper body movement, turning to face the right wall. Decide if you'd like to lift the right hand off the right hip. Ground down into your right hip. And then make that wonderful arc shape up and over it. What's happening to your right rib cage? Side ribs especially. That yummy, juicy space between your hip and your bottom ribs. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's turn to the floor. Come back to center. Walk your hands in a little bit under the shoulders and then walk your feet together and let the knees fall apart into this diamond shape. So Taylor's pose, butterfly pose, Baddha Konasana is the yoga name. We'll roll the shoulders back and down, and this is just a free for you, gentle forward fold into that space between your legs. So coming back to symmetry after some asymmetrical poses, stretching the back of your neck, melting your shoulder blades down your back, or at least off to the sides, down towards your inner thighs. Just gently drawing back on that belly button for the last 2 or 3 breaths to carve out a little bit more space there in case you've got any further to go into your forward fold. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's gently curl up away from the leg. Hold the knees together. Come to tabletop position on your mat, and then find child's pose. So we'll widen the knees. We're on the long axis of the mat. The big toes are touching, coming down to our elbows and the palms. Gently pressing the tip. We had like a really nice long opener today. So now we're going to be a little bit more active. Of course, if you don't want active, if you want more restorative, just slow things down and do what you want. Forehead is resting on the floor or on a block. You're breathing in and out. Inhaling and exhaling. Try to relax your jaw and press the tops of your shoulders away from your ears down towards your toes. Just experimenting, it's fun. It's like, where can I create more space? Even though I'm being still, even though I'm not moving anything, can I relax or shift so that I can create a little bit more space in the area that I'm concentrating on? Really good. So press down into your hands and lift up onto your knees. Let's assemble ourselves in tabletop position. Do a few cat-cows. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hip creases, fingers spread wide, tops of your pointed feet pressing into the earth. Before we do anything, we'll lengthen the spine by shifting the tailbone back, firming the belly button upward and inward, and moving the head forward off the shoulders. This is the tallest version of your spine you can muster. Flat back, inhale. Round your back, exhale. Flat back on the inhale, and when you finish the inhale, you'll find your cow. Face forward, tailbone up. Exhale, flat back into rounding. Inhale, flat back into sinking. On your own, a few more. Rounding, sinking. This is extension and flexion of your spine. And staying in the sensations that your hips, back, and shoulders are giving you, not letting your mind wander away from this moment. Breath is linked to your movement. And then let's just go ahead and find a flat back tabletop. One nice quarter dog pose where we stretch the arms out in front. The hips are staying vertically centered over our knees, and we're lifting our hips vertically towards the ceiling as we slide our palms away from our shoulders. You want to feel this sinking in your collarbone, your sternum, pressing down towards the surface of the mat. Pull your shoulder blades away from your elbows and wrists in a backwards direction to create more length in your arms, and just take a breath or two. And then getting ready for downward facing dog or an alternative, walk your hands back towards your shoulders, but not quite under. So let me just review, because I can do downward facing dog now after 8 weeks. But if you want to do my modification because you don't like down dog, all you're going to do is when we do down dog and lift our knees, and if you'd like to do that, you can do that in the studio. Now, you're going to stretch one foot at a time back and press the heel back. And then you're going to alternate your legs that way so that you don't have to bring your knees off the floor. For those of you who'd like to do downward facing dog, up we go. Nice you have such agency in yoga, isn't it? Let's pedal the feet. I think if we're concentrating on like deep stretching today, what do you feel stretching when you do this? I really feel it in my Achilles tendon and my lower calf muscles. Where do you feel it? Hamstring. Yeah, hamstring. There you go. Let's find our lift both heels and then press both heels down, straightening your knees as much as you can. It just shows us what how all our bodies are different. It's so beautiful. Feel it in your hamstrings. You can always soften your knees a little bit if some sensation gets to be too tight, too much, too dramatic. And then let's just take a couple breaths in stillness, whether you're on your knees, you can go into child's pose, or if you're in downward facing dog, you can stay there for a couple of breaths. And then if we are in down dog, we'll lift both heels, deeply bend both knees, come back down into tabletop, and walk ourselves forward so we can come down onto our tummies for cobra. Okay. So with cobra, hands are spread wide, bent elbows tucked in towards sides. The hands are underneath each side of our collarbone, fingertips underneath the height of our shoulders. Lengthen each leg just a little bit. Pick up your head, move it forward, and touch it down again. And then firm your belly button up off the floor, like it's trying to have a little conversation with your spine, deep, deep in your low belly. Wiggle your shoulder blades. Make sure you know where they are so that these are the things that are going to lift you off the floor. Press into your feet. And when you're ready, activate your shoulder blades and lift a few inches off the floor. Move your head forward and then bring it down again. Take a little breath. Inhale. Exhale. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Take a resting breath. Inhale. Exhale. On the next inhale, lift. Stay up on the exhale. Inhale one more time. Exhale down to the mat and take a resting breath. And one more time. Inhale, lift. Try to stay up for your exhale. Inhale again. And exhale down, forehead to the mat. Stretch your right arm out, perpendicular to the long right side of your mat. Your left hand stays right where it is, under your left shoulder. Turn your head to the left. Your right temple is resting on the mat. Push down into your left hand and roll onto your right rib cage, right hip, right side of your right ankle. The legs are stacked. It's called the Kiev shoulder opener. So many options here. If you know an option you like, go ahead and take it. Everyone's head should be resting on solid ground. If it's not, tuck a blanket or something underneath your head so it's not floating, please. One nice option to explore here that involves the top left hip is to lift your left foot up off your right foot just a couple inches and then drive it back 12 inches, 18 inches behind you and rest it on the floor. So there's a stretch in the front of your top left hip. I just want you to take a couple breaths into whatever you're feeling. These hips are just really so resistant to stretching, especially in cold weather. And then restack your legs, roll back onto your tummy, check in with that wonderful right shoulder, make sure it's okay. Bend the right elbow, take the right hand under the right collarbone, stretch the left arm out perpendicular to your mat. Turn your whole head to the right so your left temple is resting on a block or a blanket or the floor, and roll to the left. So your left rib cage is down, your left hip, your left outer knee, your lower left ankle. First and foremost is the shoulder stretch, so just check in with that. And then decide if you'd like to float your right foot an inch or two and drive it back behind you, and re-rest it on the floor. I found a bolster there. That feels really good. You know, it is really nice to raise the floor. I cannot tell you how often I'm surprised by Prop just giving me an extra present by being in the right place at the right time. One or two more breaths. Then restack the legs, roll back onto your tummy. Go slowly. Tuck the left hand under the left rib cage. Extend your legs. We're going to shift our hips back towards our heels. So take any method here that works for you when you stretch back. And then let's join each other in tabletop one more time. And stretch the right leg back. Just curl the right toes under and press the right heel down. So this is a chance to feel a lot of spreading between your right toes. Or to flare them out and to drive that lifted right heel backwards and downwards. Then float the leg up off the mat and round your back and bring the knee underneath you and straighten the leg behind you again into bird dog. Let's do that 2 more times on your own. The next time your leg is back behind you, turn your toes to the right wall, the wall over your right shoulder, and just swing your right leg around. And I want you to stay with your hands on the floor, but your right toes are, if your belly button is the center of a clock, your right foot is at number 3. Walk your hands backward under your belly, under your shoulders, and just lower your heart towards the floor. You're welcome to use a block here too. Just a little extra stretch on the outer right hip, the SI joint. then press the floor away and keep walking that foot into the front right lane of the mat. And let's shift forward. I'm going to grab my blocks here. But it's kind of a deep, low kneeling lunge today. So we have so many different forms of lunge. A lunge is just one knee down, a kneeling lunge, right? I want us to go forward with our knee today, if that's safe for you. And bring those shoulders as far forward as you can and use the blocks to absorb the weight of your upper body. Drive your upper body forward, like you're trying to lay your heart on the floor. And then shift your hips back for a moment. Maybe float your toes. We're going to move in a forward direction again. So ground the right foot, drive the knee forward. Move your shoulders and head forward. We're going to go backwards one more time. So here we go. Maybe you're floating your toes. And then moving in a forward direction again. Ground the right foot, drive the right knee forward. And take your right hand or your right block inside your right ankle. Walk your right foot over to the long right edge of the mat. And make sure those hands are right in front of your shoulders. They're not off center here. We want to have your hands right out in front of your shoulders. Pivot your toes onto the floor. So your heels on the mat, but your toes went on the floor. And roll to the baby toe edge of your foot. So now your inner arch is all floating off the mat. Now here's where we can really use our blocks to raise the floor. You can come down onto your elbows if you want to, you don't have to. But again, the goal here is to put the most intention on stretching the right hip, not on supporting the weight of your upper body. So that's why we're trying to raise the floor. Use the props. Your hip will think it's safe. So, we did the strap hip opener first, and that's really kind of important here because we've already told the hip we wanted to open. Now we're giving it a more dramatic instructions here. There are some of you who might like to just stay here. Others might want to take their right hand to their inner right thigh and just wing it away with one gentle push. And turn your head, your nose towards your right knee, and then turn your nose towards the back of your neck. So you're twisting your spine here, gently, safely. Gently untwist, ground your big toe. Make sure you're not on your blocks too high. I'm going to press down to shift my hips back from my foot. Bring that foot back. Yeah, let's do a couple of cat cows, and we'll do that sequence on the left leg. Then pause together in stillness. Stretch the left toes back. Curl them under on the mat or the floor and press the lifted left heel back and down. Flare your toes apart. Then shift your shoulders over your wrists and float your left leg up. So 3 times we're going to slowly bring that right knee underneath our left knee underneath our left rib cage. And then extend the leg back again. Just a gentle rounding and straightening of the spine. The last time that leg is behind you, it's still floating. You're going to turn your toes towards the left-hand wall and swing that leg around to the left side on the floor. Your left foot is even with your right knee. We'll walk our hands backward underneath our tummy. So they're really more like table legs here. And horse blocks are welcome to raise the mat. We can come down and just gently press the tailbone back. The thing that I love about this outrigger pose, it's a yin pose, but is that it feels so different from one side to the other in my body. And I kind of assume that most people have a dominant side and a non-dominant side. So it really could be a different feeling, how to stretch out your hips this way. Take just a couple more breaths. Okay, press down to lift up. Let's walk, tick-tocking that left foot up to the front left edge of the mat. We've got our blocks here. We can come forward. I want you to be nice and balanced and come into this deep kneeling lunge. Moving your head forward towards the front of the space, driving your bent left knee forward. Seeing what your knee wants, what your hip wants. You could just stay here, or you can do the dynamic moving back. You don't have to, right? We're going to pulse back, come forward 3 complete times. Forward for that final time. Hop your left hand, left block inside your left ankle, and then tick-tock your foot all the way to the long left side of the mat. Reposition your blocks so they're straight in front of your shoulders if you need to. I need to. Then pivot your left toes onto the floor, off the mat, and roll to the baby toe edge of the left foot. So now your knee is winged out towards the left. Use the blocks if you care to come down and just let your heart drop towards the floor. Any height of the blocks, you don't have to, you can put your hands on the blocks and have your, sometimes this is just the most comfortable opportunity here for some people. If you want to put your left hand on your inner left thigh, and just start this spinal rotation where as your left hand presses into your left thigh, you just feel your head turning towards your left hand. And at a certain point, it stops. Oh, your nose keeps turning towards the back of the mat. Gently turn forward. Ground your toes on your left foot. Shift your hips back a little bit so that you can walk your hands more underneath your upper body. And then bring that leg back. Perfect, perfect. And then let's go ahead and curl the toes under if you can. Come up and start walking your feet towards your hands and your hands towards your feet and roll up to standing. Roll up to standing. Yeah. Perfect. I wanted to keep today pretty peaceful because, you know, we have a big day coming, right? We're all a little stressed out about the weather. So I know for sure I have never done this with you guys at Cancer Wellness Center. And for you guys at home, I don't know, but we're going to do what I call Johnny Cash walk the line. It's dynamic balance. It's just for fun. So it doesn't involve a one-leg balance. It involves moving through space, but finding balance as we move. So what I'd like you to do is walk to the back left corner of your mat. Just there you go. Make sure you don't have any props that are going to get in your way. Then take your right foot and put it half on and half off the mat. So your left foot is on the floor or the carpet. Your right foot is half on and half off the mat. So it should feel a little wonky, right? So now stand up straight like you're in mountain pose. Got something under your foot, right? And you're going to widen your hands and bring your right foot half on and off the mat. Your shoulders will move with your feet. And then how are we going to take another step forward? Our shoulders are going to move first, then we're going to swing the foot around. It's just practice, so have fun. Shoulders move first, move the foot around.
This is a sobriety test.
I've never had one, so I could.
Yeah, no, me neither.
It's so funny. Well, maybe we should have champagne next week. Here we go. All right. So forward is hard enough, right? Get to the top of your mat. Cross over to the other side. And we're going to go backwards now on the right-hand side of your mat. So your left foot is half on. And mind you, you should not have any expectation from this other than it's going to be funny and different. Okay? But just arms out. With your shoulders back, step back. Remember to move your upper body first. Your shoulders back and the foot follows. We're training our brain. The shoulders back. If you happen to step off the mat, it's no bother. Just find the mat again. Nobody cares. We're just playing around. Yeah, as long as you don't take out your neighbor, right?
None of us is so much.
So we all got to the back of the mat. Let's go forward on this right line because it's different. It's just different for your brain. We're going to go forward on the right side. Okay. So your left foot is half out, half off. And you're going to see, oh, wow, this is so easy compared to going backwards. You need a drishti. You need a focal point. Your eyes are locked in for balance. When you get to the top short edge of your mat, take a little hop over to the opposite side where we're going to go backwards. So this is so fun to try. Now, when I learned this, first in a certification course, and then they had me, when I broke my ankle a long time ago, they had me doing it, and they said, do this on the edge of a very thin Asian Oriental rug at your house, you know, thin piece of carpet. You really can even just do it on a wooden floor if you follow a line, but it's nice to have the height variation because it's a little bit of a struggle. That's so good. Let's just come to the floor with our bolsters, right? Come to the floor with your bolster.
Judy's driving.
I'm driving. I didn't bring any alcohol for us to try today. It's not mimosa day. Maybe that's the race one, mimosa day. Okay, so I want you to have a bolster or a rolled up blanket here. Come on down, sit. And if you have a cross mat, don't worry, just face me so you can see the camera or me. If you have a cross mat, face forward, but face me because it'll all make sense to you. All right, so we're gonna turn to the long axis of your mat. So you'll turn to your right a quarter turn. So you have a lot of mat to your right. Does that make sense? Yeah, you're gonna still be able to see me a little bit more. So you're facing out the window. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. And then hands behind, just scoot your bum to the edge of the mat spine. We want to have some space out. And then we're just gonna rock those knees to the right and left. We're gonna go into what we call the Z twist and the Z sit. So the reason we do this rocking of the knees is because that's how our legs are eventually gonna go. So knees, everybody's knees to the right. Everybody's knees to the right. Reach out and take your left heel and just pull it back a little bit. Right? Now, square yourself. See if you can grab your knees and sit up straight. What does it take? Can you do it without holding on? It's very hard. Just gonna go ahead and it can be as much as you need or want. There's no right or wrong. Just hold on to your knees and try to sit up straight, getting your head over your tail. This is the uncomfortable part, coming up for the really juicy twist that's coming. And that's why we need a bolster. And so when we set this up, if you happen to have gotten a really tiny bolster, I might come over and give you a bigger one. For all of you who have a bolster, take your blocks and put them off of your right hip here, okay? So it's like we just took a big Tootsie Roll and we pointed it off of our right hip. And tight. Now, knees. There it is. Is that the last one? It's right for now. We're good. Starting to turn your upper body in the direction of your bolster until your hands can find the floor on either side. So you're leaning to the right, correct? You're leaving your left hip behind. This is the trick here. So as your hands ground, your low back kind of stops moving, but can you turn your head a little bit more so your nose is pointing towards your bolster? Then can you turn your shoulder blades and maybe your ribs? Now from here, you're going to lay your bottom rib down on the bolster, maybe your side ribs. You can lie down on your cheek or put your nose down and you're just going to relax into your bolster. Have your bolsters work better because you don't have to go as far down. And then what I want you to do is to think about this left hip that you've left behind. I want you to let it melt, like a pat of butter in the sun. Just let it go, let it go. Trick to this twist. Let everything go. Try to let that dark place where your left hip joins into your torso soften. Close your eyes and take a few more breaths. And then walk your hands under your shoulders and press down into the floor to come away from your bolster. Turn back to face the long front edge of your mat. Take your bolster off in the direction of your left hip. There's a little bit of a diagonal. And then, just like we set up the other side, let's just windshield wiper the knees, right, left, right, left. Get your bum back to the long edge of the mat so that you have room for your knees here in front of you. And then let your knees go to the left and make sure both ankles are protected. They're not on the hard surface. So once we're in the Z sit, Hands to the knees. Just gently use the hand that's your right hand, I guess, to pull yourself to the right. Just try to get your head over your tailbone. You'll feel the rib cage on this backside kind of lock in and try to pull you away from the knee to the left. These are really important but hard to access muscles. Can you float your hands? Keep the breath slow and steady. And then let's go ahead and make sure that bolster is sunk into our left hip. We're going to start walking ourselves. Our head is turning diagonally back to the left. We're walking our hands so they straddle each side of the bolster. Once you feel your side lower ribs touching, then go ahead and turn your head more so that your nose is pointing down. Then try to rotate your shoulder blades and make your rib cage before you start to make contact coming down onto that torso, either on your cheek, right or left, or your nose. And this is where I'd like you to surrender your upper body to the weight that's going into your bolster. So just let it find that right hip and left leg. Sometimes you have to touch it. And soften it as much as you can. It's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Band. It's a pat of butter melting in the sun. It's a melting iceberg that's broken off of the ice floe and it's drifting away from your rib cage. It's drifting away from your low back. It's moving in the opposite direction. It's not affected by your twist. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. A couple more breaths on your own. Lock your hands under your shoulders so you can rest down. Lift away from the bolster. Start to turn back towards the front direction you were facing and bring those feet into Baddha Konasana just because we can. We're going to come down onto the floor. And since we all have a bolster, I think what I'm going to have is we're just going to fold forward again towards that space between my left knees. Start to come up. Fold the knees. So from here, you can use that bolster like we would use a block for restorative bridge. If you would rather use the hard block, you can. All I'm going to do to set this up is to get it more in the direction of the mat where my lower body is going to go. This is a high bolster, so this should be kind of fun. And bring my hips up here. Here it is. And then I'm going to come down. So I've got this bolster, whether it's low, medium, or high, and it's pressing up into the back of my gluteus muscles. It's pressing my hips upward. You can leave your legs long towards the far corners of the mat. You can stretch your arms overhead, diagonally away in pentacle pose, starfish pose. After that low back twisting and all of that serpentine ringing out of our spine, this just feels really good. You think about it as a palate cleanser, really, that you just kind of dug down and found some energy that was maybe new and difficult, and now you're just letting it flow, letting it flow. If you'd rather bend your knees and have your heels at the outer edge of the mat, you're welcome to. Anybody wants to bend their knees, walk their heels up, and then float their feet, feeling your legs up towards the sky with the hips resting on the bolster or a block. It's a different sensation with the bolster than the block. I'm so proud of you all for experimenting. Let your breath deepen and lengthen, and let your exhale lengthen. You do have your legs overhead, bend the knees and return your heels to the earth. We're going to lift up, pressing into the feet, all of us. We're going to lift up and take the bolster and slide it down under our knees, so towards your legs. So it just comes up, it's underneath the backs of your knees for Shavasana. If you need to rearrange yourself on the mat, go ahead. And then possibly your feet are just floating, that feels nice. And hands by your side, palms up. Just going to a short Shavasana, finishing up this beautiful piece of time where all our energy is coming to a new balance. Let your shoulder blades melt down. Let your collarbone stretch wide across your upper chest. Let your sternum come out of hiding. It may feel like it's pressed down deep in your chest. Let it come out. Slope up towards the surface of your chest. It's the sun coming out behind the cloud, from behind the cloud. Soften your gluteus muscles. Let the creases across the top of your legs, your hip creases, let them soften, widen, and surrender any kind of tension. To take these next few inhales, imagine filling up your lungs from the top through the middle to the bottom. And as you exhale, emptying out from the bottom through the middle to the top.